ischemic stroke. Acute occlusions of intracranial vessels cause reduction in the blood flow. Acute occlusions of intracranial vessels cause reduction in the blood flow to the brain. What is ischemic stroke? Ischemic stroke is the acute occlusions or occlusions of intracranial vessels They cause reduction in the blood flow to the brain. Cause reduction of blood flow to the brain. This reduction in the blood flow to the brain cause ischemia. When this reduction of blood flow to the brain persists for prolonged time, when this persists for prolonged time, it causes ischemia of the brain tissue, and this ischemic attack of the brain tissue is called ischemic stroke. In the ischemic stroke, there is only occlusions of the intracranial vessels, and there is no rupture of the intracranial vessel. No rupture of intracranial vessels. There is only ischemia. A decrease in blood flow to zero causes death of brain tissue within 4 to 10 minutes. A decrease of blood flow to the brain. When the blood flow to the brain becomes zero liter per 100 gram of tissue per minute. When this becomes zero, it causes the death of brain tissue within 4 to 10 minutes. It causes of death of brain tissue within 4 to 10 minutes. When this blood flow is less than 16 to 18 ml per 100 gram, when it less than 16 to 18 ml, this is not letter 0 ml. When this blood flow become less than 16 to 18 ml per 100 gram of brain tissue, it causes the infarction within hours. Causes the infarction. When infarction occurs, when the blood flow to the brain tissue become less than 16 to 18 per 100 gram of brain tissue. This causes the infarctions. When the blood flow to the brain become less than 16 to 18 ml per 100 gram of the brain tissue, this brain tissue become infarcted. And when this blood supply to the brain tissue becomes less than 20 ml per 100 gram of brain tissue per minute, when this become less than 20 ml per 100 gram of brain tissue per minute, when this becomes less than 20 ml, the ischemia without infarction occur. The ischemia of the brain occur, but without infarction. The infarction may occur if this condition persists for long time, that is for hours. The ischemia may occur if this condition persists for prolonged time, that is hours, for several hours or days. This may cause the infarction if persists for long time. For short time, this cause only ischemia without infarction. If the blood flow is restored in this condition, there is only ischemia occur and infarction is prevented. And this condition is called transient ischemic attack. This condition when not occur for prolonged times and they are restored. When they are restored, this condition is called transient ischemic attack. TIA, transient ischemic attack when restored. Now we are talking about the different ischemic infarction. In this, the transient ischemic attack when the condition restored, it occur. Only ischemic pneumora are seen. Only ischemic pneumora are seen. Only ischemic pneumora are seen with the help of CT or MRI. Only the ischemic pneumora are seen if the condition is restored and the blood supply is less than 20 ml per 100 gram of brain tissue per minute. And if restored, if restored immediately, so the ischemic pneumora are seen in the help of CT or MRI. The ischemic pneumora is the reversible dysfunction. The ischemic pneumora, this is the reversible dysfunction in this ischemic pneumora surrounding a core of infarction. Surrounding a core of infarction. There is ischemia and surrounded by a core of infarction. This is called ischemic pneumora. This is seen by the CT and MRI. Only ischemic pneumora occur in the transient ischemic attack. For prolonged ischemia, the focal cerebral infarction occur. Focal cerebral infarction can occur. Focal cerebral infarction can occur. And the pathway for the mechanism of action of the focal cerebral infarction include: number 1, the focal cerebral infarction occur because of the energy failure of the cell. The focal cerebral infarction occurs by the mechanism. Number 1 is due to energy failure to brain cell or neuron or brain tissue. Failure to neuron. We know that the brain only use glucose. And when there is occlusions of the vessels, of the intracranial vessels, so the glucose supply to the brain tissue are stopped, and the oxygen supply is also stopped. So there is energy failure to neuron, and they cause the focal cerebral infarctions. And the second mechanism include the apoptotic necrosis due to the deficiency of glucose and oxygen. Due to deficiency of glucose and oxygen, the apoptotic necrosis may occur. The apoptotic necrosis may occur due to the failure of this energy. So the apoptotic necrosis can occur due to deficiency of glucose and oxygen to neuron. The oxygen and glucose cannot go to the neuron. There is occlusions in the blood vessels. So there is apoptotic necrosis occurs. When the apoptotic necrosis occurs, the mitochondria, we know that mitochondria produce ATP. So when there is no glucose, the mitochondria of the neuron cannot produce ATP, and mitochondrial failure occur. Mitochondrial failure occur. When this mitochondrial failure occur, the membrane pumps becomes stops. The membrane pumps become stops. The membrane pumps become stop. When the membrane pump becomes stop, the neuron depolarization occur. Neuron depolarization occur. When this neuron depolarizations occur, it increases the intracellular calcium levels, and the intracellular calcium level rises. The intracellular calcium level rises. The intracellular calcium level increasing. When the intracellular calcium level increases, the glutamate are releases from the synaptic terminal. The glutamate are releases from the synaptic terminal. When this glutamate releases from the synaptic terminals, it increases the neurotoxicity by activating the postsynaptic neuron calcium influx. It produces neurotoxicity. This glutamate release and this glutamate produce neurotoxicity. This mitochondria failure when occur, this also produce free radicals. And this free radical when produced, they also cause the neurotoxicity. By the activity of the postsynaptic neuron calcium influx. This the neuron calcium influx increases, it causes the glutamate to release, and glutamate causes the neurotoxicity. lesser degree of ischemia will occur when there is less ischemia and less degree of ischemia. The ischemic pneumora develop and the apoptotic cell death occur when there is less degree of ischemia. There is less degree of ischemia. When there is less degree of ischemia, so the ischemic pneumora develop. Ischemic pneumora develop, and this ischemic pneumora will develop. This ischemic pneumora will develop. This causes the apoptotic cell death. This causes the apoptotic cell death. Apoptotic cell death. This causes the apoptotic cell death. When this apoptotic cell death occur, the cell die in weeks later. Cell die weeks later. Cell die weeks later. Weeks later, this cell die. There is apoptotic cell death when there is less degree of ischemia. Now we will discuss the management of ischemic stroke. The management of ischemic stroke. What is the management of ischemic stroke? Management of ischemic stroke. First of all, we maintain the ABC, that is airway, breathing and circulation. ABC. If there is a airway problem, we maintain the airway. Maintain airway. If there is the circulation problem, we maintain the circulation. If there is circulation problem, we maintain the circulation. And if there is the breathing problem, we maintain the breathing. Breathing. And we maintain the circulation. This is the first aid. After this ABC, airway, breathing and circulation maintaining, we treat hypoglycemia or hyperglycemia. Hypoglycemia or hypoglycemia. If there is hypoglycemia, we give glucose. We give glucose IV. If there is hypoglycemia. If there is hyperglycemia, if there is hyperglycemia, we give insulin infusion. Insulin infusion to control the hyperglycemia. Sometimes fever also occur. We maintain the normal temperatures. Fever worsen the brain injury. Fever can worsen or worse brain injury. Brain injury. Hypothermia improve the stroke symptoms. Hypothermia improve the stroke symptoms. For the fever, we give antipyretic. We give the antipyretic for the fever. We perform the non-contrasticity of the head. We perform advice non-contrasticity of the head. Non-contrasticity of head. To differentiate between ischemic stroke and hemorrhagic stroke. If there is unavailability of the CT scan, if the CT is not available, we check the BP. If the BP are much more higher, and there is more depressed symptoms, and there is consciousness level decrease more. If the consciousness level decrease more, consciousness increasing more, there is consciousness. The consciousness level increasing. The consciousness level increasing more. So we suspect that is we suspect that the stroke is hemorrhagic. We suspect the hemorrhagic stroke. Hemorrhagic stroke. We suspect the hemorrhagic stroke. If the deficit level is maximal at the onset or reverso, we suspect the ischemia. If the deficit level is maximum at onset, and they remits, if they remits, we suspect ischemia. We suspect ischemic stroke. Ischemia. But we are discussing about the ischemic stroke. We only discuss the management of ischemia. For the ischemia, if the patient is coming with or the relatives brought the patient to the emergency department with the decreased level of consciousness and you suspect the ischemia, the deficit level is maximal at the onset, so in their limit, so and you suspect the ischemia or you have done the CT or MRI of the patient with ischemia. So what is the treatment? First we look to the BP. We look to the BP. If the BP level is much more, that is greater than 220 by 120 mm of Hg, so we lower the BP. We lower the BP. Lower the BP by beta blocker, that is small load. Small load. If the heart rate is increased and there is tachycardia, we lower the heart rate. Lower the heart rate by beta 1. That is small load. Lower the BP and lower the heart rate. If there is